on week number 1, right? So everybody in this room is on week number 1. Now, did you get more this week than you did last week?
Yeah.
Right? Guys, this is not silent mode. Did you get more this week than last week?
Yes.
Everybody, if you did. If you didn't, let me know. That's what this is about. Did we get more this week or last week?
This week.
This week for sure.
This week.
This week.
This week.
Channing, were you on last week?
I was not, but just.
You go watch the first one then.
This week for sure.
This week for sure, yeah.
Inga?
This week.
Farm?
This week.
Ted?
This week.
Ted?
Yeah.
This week.
This week.
Ray?
Yeah, this week.
Okay. See, think of it. The first one you're sort of like, it's new to you. It's something that we always did, but for some of you, you don't even know. What you don't know, you don't know. So for some of you, it's brand new. You know, I preach this and teach this, but it's coming from another voice, so it's good for me because I can sit back and do lots of notes, right? So the opportunity, if you pay attention and take notes, tell me, how many notes did you get?
I have quite a bit actually.
Just give me a ballpark. How many pages?
3, 4, 5 pages.
5 pages. You're on your
Yeah.
phone and your notebook.
In my notebook, I have about, probably, 4 pages.
4 pages. Done?
5 pages.
5 pages. Chris?
I got a full page.
A full page. Okay. Guys, 5 pages, 5 pages, 5 pages, 1 page. Ted?
I've got 5 pages, but total 11 from.
Well, that was last week.
I know.
5
but
pages
you
this
got
week.
5.
Right? Carmen?
7 pages.
7 pages.
10 pages.
7 pages. Inga?
10.
10 pages. Channing?
7.
7 pages. Zach?
4 pages.
4 pages.
Plus 4.
4 pages. Ted?
Four.
4 pages.
I got 10 pages.
10 pages. 5 pages.
I have 23 notes.
How many
I
pages?
did them on my phone, so.
On your phone, 23 notes. Okay.
23 notes.
Guys, the more notes you take, the more you're gonna win. And I don't care if you do it by phone, I'm old school, that's how my brain works. It's my reticular activator. That pen is the most important thing for my brain. Yeah, I've got numerous pages, numerous notes that I took myself, and I highlight, I scribble it, and I'll rewrite them later. All right? So when I used to go to large conferences, be 4,000 or 5,000 people, I'd be in the front seat. I could not be anywhere because I hated distractions. Even here, I was going to watch it in my office, but I figured, okay, I'll sit here with you guys and watch it, right? So the key is take lots of notes, but then review your notes, and I would say sometimes rewrite your notes. Channing sits with me all the time, Natalie sits with me all the time. So on any leads, I'm writing. So sometimes they give me a computer generated thing. I have a photographic memory. It doesn't trigger it for me. If you show me my notes, bang, I was there just 2 seconds ago with me. It could have been a month, could have been 6 months, could have been a year. But my notes trigger my brain, my reticular activator. So what triggers your reticular activator? You know, you're on your phone, some of you guys are on your phone. You new young guys, probably phones. That's okay, that's how you do it. But review your notes and then maybe say, okay, here's the principle. So I'm gonna start at the back, we're gonna do a round table again like we did last week. And John, I'll start with you at the back there. What one thing, just one thing, because I wanna share it, we've got everybody in this room. Because remember, there's other people at home. Unfortunately, people at home, so this is what you missed last week's task. And then that you guys are at home, so you didn't get to see this part. So the beauty of coming into the office, even though it's a favor for me to give them to the Zoom call, the real better part is to be live, right? So John, tell me, what was the one thing that you got out of that?
I've got a lot, but one of the things that kind of stood out was basically what you said is knowing what to do is not enough. You actually got to do it.
Repeat that back.
Knowing what to do is not enough. You have to do it.
Guys, anyone not want to reiterate that, what that means?
Yeah.
Max, go ahead. Just shut right
That
there.
was the first thing that actually I got.
You got that also? Who else got that one? Right? Stas, you got it also? Who else? Stand up if you got that was your first one. Stand up. I want to see the people that's got that one. Right? I got that one. That was one of the biggest things I picked up myself. So stand up. Stay standing up. This is important. Okay? For those that are sitting down, right? We all listen and we all watch the same thing. We're all going to get something different out of it. Right? Not everybody, stand up guys, I don't want you to sit down yet, right? This is, when you have me involved, you're gonna be involved, right? This is why you come to the Daryl King team, right? We want you to be involved. When you're at home in a Muppet show, you don't get this involvement. So the guys that are, my other top agents are at home, like you're at home last week, you didn't have this. So I'm making a commitment for you guys that are gonna be here to help share my knowledge and help extract that everybody can get what you guys just got. So there was, I don't know, probably 100 points that he had on there in that 1 hour. Probably I would say close to 100. Now, some of us got some got some, and some got more. But this was one of the major points that I got myself on this one. So repeat what he said. I'm gonna have everyone, you got, what did he just say in your notes? The same thing, right?
So yeah. So you need to know.
It's not just knowing, it's doing. Guys, we know so much, but we do so little. So the best, like myself, and some of the guy like my buddy Nick, they know it, but they're actually doing it. So what I need to get you guys to do is I'm gonna be constantly pushing you and learning. So once you learn it, then the only one not doing it is yourself. But if you learn it and you do it, the star is the skies, right? There's no limit to it, right? So you say it, Lidan.
So you only there's a lot of people that know, but doing it is what matters.
Right? Max?
Doing it a number of times, like repeating the same thing presentations to get used to it, like the scripts that you practice. Like I know the scripts, but doing it in front of people, I guess, or doing it to like a role play, that's when you become more comfortable. I guess that's what I got from that.
Great example, right? So what I'll teach for you guys is an example. Because when you know to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning versus 9 o'clock in the morning, you just added 3 hours of your day to your day. Everybody always says, I don't have time. How many times have you heard that? I don't have time, right? So if you get up 1 hour earlier, you can be 1 hour more productive. And you do 7 days a week, there's 7 extra hours put on your week of productivity, not just Facebook time or social doing nothing, of actually doing something. So guys, give yourself a hand. Give your hand, right? So we're coming back to you.
I really liked what he said about flow state and how through practice you can get to that point where you've mastered your skills and you can just do it without having to think about it. It just becomes part of you. I thought that was really interesting.
Right? So, you know, you're an actress, right? So how did you get to be an actress, and how do you get to be good at it? Because it's talking about your flow state, correct?
It's flow state,
right?
It's practice.
Just tell us what you had to do if you're an actor in a play or something.
So you have to learn all your skills, and then it's repetition. Repetition is your practice time. Practice makes perfect.
No, practice doesn't make perfect. The perfect practice makes perfect. Because if you're practicing incorrectly, you'll be incorrectly doing what you're doing. So when Michael Jordan would throw 1,000 free throws, he didn't throw just the ball to miss the basket. He threw the ball to make the basket. He had a bang, bang, bang. 3 times he'd bang the ball. He'd have his eyes. Everything was deliberate. And everything was perfect. Right? Remember, he didn't make his high school basketball team, but he became, by my estimation and most others, the greatest basketball person ever. And it was the perfect flow and the perfect repetition. So be careful on your repetition and your flow, because if it's the wrong flow and the wrong repetition, you will not succeed. I'm a great golfer, but I don't have the proper practice. So I need to get perfect on my practice for I can be an incredible golfer, which I'll work on because we've got club championships this weekend. So I'm going to go from being done poorly to just turn it on and just go kill the field, right? Mindset, perfect practice, perfect flow. Teddy?
I like how to be brutally honest with someone and just ask them permission to tell them the truth. That's a big trick that I've learned in the past, and I like to hear. I liked hearing it from him. So if you ask permission, if I could be brutally honest, they go yes. Then you could just tell them anything, and if you just don't, then they might take offense to it. So I really like that.
Okay, so he's been in sales for most of his career, okay? Now, being brutally honest. There's a technique to being brutally honest. If someone lives in not such a great house or a condo, you can't say your house is crap or your condo's crap, right? They'll throw you out the door quicker than your bag will get out there, right? You have to be subtle. You have to do it with sincerity and clarity. So you need to practice on that. Remember, ask permission. Do I have permission to be brutally honest with you today, or do you just want me to tell you what you want to hear? I ask that to my clients every time I go see them, right? So most of them will tell me, yeah, they want me to be brutally honest, okay? I said, so with your permission, then I'll tell you some things, and some of these things you may not like, but with your permission, which I asked, it's not personal, it's here to help you. Is that fair enough, right? So if you follow with that type of procedure, you're going to win every time, right? So what else? I'll come back to you because I want to make sure we get to everybody. So good one. Give me a hand, right? So Stas, what do you got there for us?
Well,
No,
I
just
really
want
like
to
the
put
double
5,
tap. I really like the double tap.
right?
Yeah.
But I just
because-
had you on the 1, so I'm going to keep you on the double tap.
Yes.
And we'll come back to you because I want to get everybody. Inga.
Okay.
I like the most to stay top of the mind, of people's mind.
Right?
So just
So how would you stay on top of people's minds?
establish communication, double tapping, calls, messages, everything. That's what is called communication. So follow up more often than you would think. So just be on their mind.
Right? So guys, I'll go, but that's what her thought is. Did anyone else have that on top of mind? Right? Anyone else have that? What about what Ted said about asking them for permission to be honest? Right? Did anyone else have that?
Yeah.
See, that's one you should all have. We should have all of these things. That's why I want to go through them, right? So give her a hand. Right? Carmen.
There's a lot, but
No, I just want one.
top producers set deadlines.
What's that?
Top producers set deadlines.
Top producer set deadlines, right? Who sets deadlines here? 1, 2, 3, 4, a few, right? Guys, unless you put a motion into play that I'm going to do this by this time, it will not get done. It'll be 1 year later and go, oh yeah, I was going to do that. And then it's like too late. Set a deadline. So that's what I'm going to start doing to my marketing guys, because some things are being missed that I want, and I have to keep coming back. So we're going to work on that. Set deadlines. Everything you do. By what time next week are you going to start waking up every day? Right? What time will I do for my practice rehearse? Right? Set deadlines for everything you do. Good one. Give her a hand. Right? Let's go right over here to Kachichi. Let's go, girl.
So I had 2 things where I say
Just one. Just
the
one.
double tap really got it because that's what I'm gonna do. I actually have a client in mind right now, and I was thinking what to do, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do now.
So you're going to double tap.
Yeah.
So tell me about your double tap.
So usually because I was calling, he wasn't picking up, and then I
Over
was
the side.
emailing, I was doing everything, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call, hang up, call back again, and hopefully he'll answer. If not, then my text messages and emails will follow. But I think that's what I got, that they're not gonna, I thought that maybe he'll get tired of me, like how much can he do? But today that's what I learned. I'm just gonna keep at it.
Right?
Yeah.
Who else had the double tap? I know you did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Ted, you had it? Chris, you had it? Jocelyn, you had it? Carmen, you had it?
Genius.
Max?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So pretty much a lot of you had the double tap also. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Did you have it? right? So, did anyone ever do that before? A couple of us have. So now you know it's actually a planned thing, right? Because here's what happens. A lot of times people are busy. Let's say I'm cooking, and if I let the phone ring 10 times and they come to the phone, they're already going to be pissed off. So half the reason why you do that double tap is because you've already interrupted their pattern, what they were doing. So you hang up, and then they haven't had time to go back to what they were doing, and then you ring them back again, right? So now they've already been distracted already from the first time, and now they're picking up on the second or third ring versus trying to let it ring 10 times. Make sense? Make sense?
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's put that to use. Give her a hand, right?
You do have another training at 2:30.
I know, but I want to carry, this is live. If I have to have that put over, then the guys at home will watch.
It's not, it's live from IMS.
Yeah, I know, and I'll make them do it again, right? So, guys, no, this is more important. I hate to tell you. Right now, I'm here live with you guys. I'm going to stick with this program, right? If we have to record the IMS thing and watch it later, then great. So, Chani, you missed last week. This is your second week. What did you pick up out of this?
So again, like everybody else, picked up a lot, but I wanted to point out.
Just one thing.
Yep, the Stocktail Paradox. Stocktail Paradox. I had to write this down because I'm not good with public speaking, but just having unwavering faith, right?
Hello.
People forget that the key to success is spiritual, right? You get, what you put in the universe will manifest. It might not be right away, but eventually will. And you just need to have faith and continue to stay consistent. And don't give up. It's a mindset, right?
If you have to take it to the other thing and record it, but I want to stay in this program right here. This is what's more important to me, right? So I can make them do that again, but this, I have to get you guys in the moment. Because to me, if I'm going to give up my time, and you guys are here, I'm giving up my time. Because I could do other things. So I want to commit my time. If you guys are going to commit to follow the systems that we're trying to provide for you to be more successful, I'll have this come back to us and I'll apologize to them, right? So let's start from that because there was too many distractions. See what happens when you get distracted? It's called squirrel. You're just, right? You're in every direction. So think of the thing that you're going to do and stay in the moment. Stay in that focus. Guys, if you're with clients, put your phone down. The kids will wait. Your husband will wait. Your boyfriend will wait. Your girlfriend will wait. Whatever it is, let it wait. Because what's in it for them is the most important thing. Because if you're not what's in it for them, they're in hasta la vista. See you later. I'll find someone else that wants what's in it for me. Right? So remember that every time. So that was a distraction. We went squirrel. So now I'm going to bring us back and anchor us and come back to where we were. So I'll give you an example. So today is my July stats for the Toronto Real Estate Board. So the printer had a thing that had to be cleaned out. The guy had to come and do it. So I normally enlarge it before I can see it and read it. So I had to try and read little things, so I just had to go wing it. So Cindy was supposed to be here at 9 o'clock. We're supposed to do this. I had to come in. 7 helped me a little bit, and I set up this projector because we had the meeting yesterday. So Cindy wasn't feeling good. She didn't get in until at 10 after 10. I want to be done by 9:30 where I could do other things. And then we were going to do another video, so all my recording stuff was in her car or somewhere else at home, not here. So there was about 6 things that distracted me from doing what I had to do best. I want you guys to go on to that, and you should put it on all of your social medias. My Market Watch, because that makes you guys the expert in the field. So share that with you. And you can go rate it. With all the trouble and bullshit that I went through, I still went and did the best I could. Have I done better? Probably. But I still did a great job for the circumstances. So always, always, always do the best you can do when you have that opportunity, no matter what shit was in your way before you got there. Because if you don't, you're not going to be involved in the process of helping them either buy or sell or invest, because it's all about them. Okay? So let's go back to where you were, right? So make sure, so I want to, if we can see the videos, or maybe I'll just do it on my phone. We had our second tier group yesterday, so there were some of our top agents that were there. 4 of the top 4 agents were in that group, right? So, you know, you guys were the first group in, so that was the second group in. Now, some didn't make it, unfortunately, and actually, I don't see Tony today. And I hope that's recorded, because he's supposed to be here for 3 meetings and he's missed. So we'll have a conversation there. So we did a video out there, which we'll do for marketing. So basically, as I said, so we'll go out there and do another video again, say we're second class, and just say, and I'll go quickly, did we get something out of this, right? And we'll go, yeah, and boom. Okay, so let's go back to Squirrel, where you're at.
So I would say the Stocktail Paradox, like having that unwavering faith. Like people forget that the key to success is spiritual, and you know what you put into the universe will manifest, right? It might not be right away, but eventually it will. You just need to have faith and continue to stay consistent. Like don't give up, right? It's a mindset game. A lot of people give up too quickly, right? Like you mentioned, first call, second call, they give up, right? So
Listen, one of the agents had 300 leads, and I can guarantee out of the 300 leads, she only probably called 10 of them one time. So those are very expensive businesses to lose, right? So remember what he said, 5% is what, say, the norm is. Some people aren't even performing at 1%. So if you focus on the 95%, your percentage level is going to go up much greater. So, and you know, we talked about that. I believe in the law of attraction. So many times I call somebody, oh, we're just going to call you guys. Well, then perfect timing. I was thinking about you. You know, I was talking about a friend of mine, Shelley, that, you know, she's a very good personal friend and a client. And I was thinking about it for 2 days, and then she called me out of the blue. She's looking for a job and this and that, whatever. But, you know, it just, be careful what you think about, because that's what you're going to create, right? So that always plays into place. Give her a hand. Did anyone else have that, by the way? Because that's a really tough twister for that one, right? It's not an easy one to think about. So, you know, we're all going to pick different things, and that's why having a conversation, because we'll see what everybody else got out of it. Because there's no right or wrong. There's basically 100 points there. So let's extract as many points as we can. Let's get good at that point, and then work on to the next one, right?
All right, a lot of points were taken, but I think one
Yeah,
of
you
them.
got lots of points. How many
Yeah.
pages did you have?
10.
10, beautiful.
Yeah, so one
Who
of
had
the,
11? Did someone have 11?
somebody did.
I thought someone said 11.
Over 2 days.
10? 10 and 10?
Yeah.
So you guys are the co-winners this week of the most notes. So let's give them a big hand. Right? Guys, so we'll all make a little contest, see who can get the most notes.
Oh, he's a teacher, he's gonna beat everyone.
What?
He's a teacher, he's gonna beat everyone.
He's a teacher also,
there you
right?
go.
Guess what? I'm a student. I'll kick his ass. I'm a student in life,
He's good at writing.
You
right?
just have to get notebooks that are very small.
I'm a good student,
I'm a
Oh,
student
see?
first.
right?
That's six.
I've got 10 pages with mine.
Anyway,
So one of the things there was a few things, but one of them is the goal of the lead is to establish communication. One of the take-home points, he never explicitly said it, but I read between the lines, is fortune is in the follow-up, right? So just because it's not now business and you're focusing on that 95%, right? And you're constantly communicating. I think eventually, like you said, you manifest that. Eventually, it comes back, and it also builds trust. It builds goodwill. And they say, hey, this guy, the girl is actually trying to take care of me, sending me properties, calling me, texting me. It sort of I think penetrates their mind and sort of simmers, and then eventually that fortune, the follow-up comes with it.
right? Guys, the biggest failure that most people will do in any type of business. Life is not just about real estate. We're just talking about real estate. But I'll tell you what, who was in sales before real estate? Put your hand up here in sales before real estate, okay? So if you're in sales before real estate, the first thing you have to learn, and that most people do not learn, is follow-up. The reason I was so good at what I did when I did it is, no one was a better person to follow up than I was. Man, it didn't matter. I would constantly phone, call, whatever. And I didn't have all the texts and the emails and stuff. It was 90% phone calls, right? So now you have so many other avenues that you can touch with them. There's no reason that you can't do your follow-up. No reason whatsoever. 7 calls in 7 days. 7 texts in 7 days. 7 emails in 7 days. That's 21 touches in 7 days. And most agents, if they're lucky, made 1 touch. And why do you think they're a failure? You can't touch anybody. Listen, if I want to date someone, I call you up once, say you want to go out, and you say no, you had plans with your girlfriends, whatever the case might be. No, can't do it. So now I'm frustrated. Right? You know, if I don't follow up again, I never have an opportunity. And anyone that has a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend, I can guarantee you tried more than once. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be with them. So just think of it that way. So good, give them a hand. Anyone else have that one? Simon, you had? Anyone else have that one? Ted had it? Jocelyn, you had it? Right? Okay. Chris?
I think my main point that I thought was the most helpful was 70% of buyers would buy if they had more information about the whole sales process in general.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty
Information, guys, information. So, you know, we have the Real Estate Information Hub, and that's basically giving information to, right now we have 1,300 people. Are all of you guys on that? Is everybody on that? The Information Hub?
Yeah.
Right? If you're not, make sure you get onto it. Either ask Cindy or Seven here to get you on there. But be the information for them. Guys, don't try to be the pushy salesperson. Those days, you know, are past where someone is going to be pushy salesperson. They're going to go, right? Be an information hub for them. You be the provider of information. You're going to go a lot further. A lot further. Anyone else have that one?
Yeah, it's the first thing I wrote.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you have? I didn't ask you yet, but I just want to know you didn't have to put your hand up there. I thought you were taking a million notes there. So, 23 notes. Okay, good. So you only lost 75 others, but that's good. You got 23, right? So good one. Congratulations, and the reason I'm teaching you guys to shake hands and applaud is this is a team, this is a family, and it's inspirational. So the more you inspire, the more you guys will grow. So I'll give you a funny thing. Actually, I'll finish up with these 4 people, then I'll talk about the rest of the story. Remind me to go back to the scroll. What do you want?
I'd like to say something after you didn't ask me.
And I'm not going to.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Lidan.
Well, buyers only remember when they actually buy a home. So embrace the difficulties, talk to them. If there are always going to be difficulties. Don't give up on them, and once they buy a home, they always remember you. So just keep in touch, and after sale, also important.
Guys, what a funny thing. They will only remember you if they buy a home through you. They will not remember the process. They'll only remember the success. So yeah, you're going to go through a lot of difficulties. And how many times do you think they'll tell all of their friends, all their family on your accomplishment?
A lot of times, all
Right?
the time.
Yes. And one of the best things, if there has a housewarming party, go buy some, here, I'll bring you guys a case of wine or something, and I can come to your party.
Mm-hmm.
And you can introduce me to all your friends and family, right? Guys, there's so many ways to attract business. So many ways. You just gotta show up. Get out of that box. Get out of that box and do it. So, how would you then now go help a buyer go sell a house?
Well, first I explain the process to them, because 70% of them, they will more likely to buy or sell a house if they understand the process.
Information.
Yeah, information. So when they buy a house, they will go through I will go through all the process, what it is. You get showings, you put an offer, there's negotiations, then there is offer acceptance, and there's financing, inspection, and then there's after sale.
Closing dates, right? Guys, the more information when you talk to your lead and help them, the better communicate. Remember, it's all about communication. Communication. So if you communicate, see what most agents do, they talk to them one time, they put them on an automatic thing on their MLS profile, and they're getting it from 20 different people. You, and you. Who's who? I don't know who's in this who. I don't even know what you look like, right? So, guys, make sure, pretty face, right? You should have seen her yesterday, all dolled up. Woo! Right? So, today I'm looking at a different person. You know, she had her beautiful heels on. She's in black and white for the pictures. Today her hair is tied back. You know, she's more casual, right? But, you know, I asked them yesterday to come black and white for the photos. She came black and white for the photos. So game face, non-game face, right? So make sure they can remember you, right? Differentiate is the word. So good job, give her a hand. Right?
I think the one that stood out, well, a lot of the pieces were said today, but one that stood out was the voice messages, right? No need to call me back, right? I love that. It's so powerful. It doesn't show that you're really pushy. Just call me back when you need me, sort of thing. And also not branding yourself while leaving a voice message. I had one of those yesterday. He just said, hey, call me back. And I'm like, who's this number? But I wanted to call him back, right, and find out who it was. So I really like that. It was really powerful.
Good. Anyone else have that one?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of you had that. So, you know, the problem is we call, and most of us don't ever leave a message. So now you have an excuse. If you heard what he said, I call him 4 times and I don't leave a message.
Yeah.
I always leave a message. Because guess what? I made the call. And I want you to know it's me, because I'm me, right? So sometimes it's different than who you may be or not. But, you know, I'll call them back. Then I may call them 4 times and leave no messages. Then the 5th call, I'll say, oh, I called and I've tried to reach you the numerous times you may have seen. I guess you've been kind of busy. So when you have an opportunity, you know, give me a shout. I do have something to share with you, right? So I'd leave a message the first time. You could go 4 times and not leave a message, right? So that's, you got to play that how it works for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you have a blocked number, that it's not going to work. Nobody wants to talk to a blocked number or anything like that, by any shape of the imagination. I used to have a blocked number because I used to have 1 million phone calls. So I ended up blocking my number. People used to get pissed off. So I made sure back with COVID days, I made sure my number was unblocked, that everyone knew it was me. So Max, and then you, and then, oh yeah, we're going to go to Ted.
For me, I have a lot, but the one that
Not only one.
The one that really stood out to me was when Nick went to the DMV to get his license plate renewed, and the girl said, "Oh, you're my agent," and he had no idea who she is. So I had similar experience in my previous business. So if you get that branded, that out with your video, with your email that you send through. I mean, I'm getting used to working with Sync, so that's something that I'm trying to implement to my sphere. I have a large sphere right now in the new clients that I'm adding. So I would like to make a short video and add it to send it, hey, that's me. And then every time we talk about real estate, they remember me. Well, if you think about buying a custom suit, you remember the guy that you bought it from. So that's what I like to, that's the best part that I got from that.
Guys, see, he didn't even meet her, but he left an impact on the things that he did continuously that, hey, that's my real estate agent. She hasn't talked to him really. She hasn't met him, but he had enough impact and footprints that, hey, that's my guy, right? So don't do this one time. I used to always get these, I paid thousands and thousands of dollars for leads that you guys are given. And I hear these leads are no good. Sometimes I used to call back the leads and I find out 10 of those leads had bought. I called 15 people, 10 of those people just bought in the last 2 months. And I'm going, those leads were no good? No, the only one that was no good was the person that was actually doing the follow-up. They were no good. So don't be those type of people making excuses. Guys, remember, you know what to do. So do it, right? There's no shortcut. You have to follow the procedures. You have to do many different things. What else are you gonna do? The sky's the limit, you know, but, you know, some people just drifted off and they're still in a cloud. They need to come back and get involved, right? So give him a hand. So young man with 23 notes, just one.
So when someone calls you and you can't pick up, always tell them that you're going to call them back. and shoot them a text or have a personalized voicemail saying that you're going to call them back at the end of the day. I think that would make a big difference.
So, say that to them that they can understand that. So, role play with me here.
So, hey Daryl, just say this is my voicemail actually. So
It's okay, whatever you want to do, role play on the voicemail.
thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Right now I can't pick up the phone. I'll give you a call later tonight. If I don't give you a call back, expect a call tomorrow morning.
Okay. So he gave them a deadline, right, on his voice message. That, you know, I'm in a meeting right now. I'll call you between 1 and 3. I have lots of my counterparts that will do that. That they'll have I'm in meetings or whatever they're doing. I will be turning my calls between 1 and 3 today, or if not, I'll call you first thing tomorrow morning, right? So, you know, we all say we're going to get back to them, but when? I'll get back to you right away. Well, a week, 2 weeks, guys, give them a deadline. By tomorrow morning, I'll get back to you. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll get back to you. You know, just give them an idea, because to them it's forever, right? You know, if you tell someone you're going to be at their house at 7 o'clock and you show up at 8 o'clock, hasta la vista. You're out of my books. You know, it's not going to happen. So, Teddy, you want to say something here quickly? Quickly. Because I've got more to say here.
These two things are connected, okay? The first thing is never give up, okay? And the reason that he says never give up is because he understands the cycle of the lead. And the lead is always changing. If you understand that the lead is always changing, you'll never be out of leads.
You hear that, guys?
Yeah.
Guess what? Remember that sheriff said in 8 years they're going to retire and something happened at work? He wants to retire now.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I'm getting married next year. Well, guess what? I broke up with that lady and I've got other plans now. Right? Whatever it is. Things change every single day. I just got a job transfer. I'm moving to another province. Whatever. Every day something changes. So if you're not following up with those leads, you miss the boat. So I'll bring you to attention here. First of all, I want everybody to stand up and give yourself a big hand for showing up today. Right, stand up. Because she wants to get you on video here. Let's do one of these quickly here. Give her a little wave. Right? Give yourself a big hand for showing up. So this is day 2 of number 6, right? So we got a lot more today than we did out of number 1. So with our mindsets and by having this round table afterwards, you guys are excited. So, you know, you were at home last week. You were at home last week, Stas. Channy, you missed last week. So did everybody really get this so much more, right? And now you're much more involved. You're not as nervous. So I just had, remember I couldn't have everybody in here, unfortunately. And yesterday I had them, we had sort of what we went through the week before. We went out and did some videos. So we're going to do it again outside and go out and do a video. I can talk about a whole lot more about this. I have things, you know, being different, guys, being different. If there's anything that I've always done in my life is if everybody's going this way, I was sure to go this way, right? I'm not a follower, I never have been. If I'm alone and on, I'm okay. If I'm the center of the universe and center of a party, I'm okay. But you can't do what others do. You have to do what is proper for you that you can be successful, right? Look at a nice new jacket. I was supposed to go to Nashville. I bought 10 jackets. So I want to have a new jacket for you guys today and for the video I did today. Yes, I have a nice new black jacket that I want to have. So I got 8 other new ones that I'll share in some of the new important videos coming up, right? So the money I saved on the trip and the hotel, I spent on clothes, right? So I always want to be able to look good and present myself as someone that stands out amongst other people, right? So do I like to wear my jeans and, you know, some others? Absolutely, I love it. But that's not going to profess the way I do my business and my mindset. My mentor at that time said, dress for success every time you show up. So I've learned that, it's embedded in me, and it won't be any other way. So there are so many things I could talk about, other notes that I picked up out of here that weren't mentioned here today. But I don't want to give you brain saturation. So this is all recorded. You guys can watch it at your convenience again. Because if you watch it a second time, the first one and the second one, you're gonna go, wow, right? Because we only retain 1 or 3% the first time we actually listen to it. You know, I remember when I was married, my ex-wife used to always say, why are you gonna go see that guy again? You just seen him 2 months ago, right? You're spending the money, you're going to California, you're going there. I said, because I love to get away from you. Right? That wasn't the answer, but that was the answer, right? You know, no disrespect, I still love you, Lisa. But at a distance.
Long distance.
Right? So, no, we're still close, it's no worries. But, you know, she didn't believe on me continuing my education. She said, you're the #1 agent in the office, you're the #1 agent, you're in the top 10 in Canada, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes, but unless I continue to grow, I will not stay there. So most of the times that even when I went, I'd make sure that I always learned 1 or 2 new things. But a lot of the things that I picked up was the sportsmanship, the camaraderie of the people I was with. You know, when we stand in line for 4 or 5 hours to have the #1 seat in front of 5,000 people, right? We made some good relationships. So sometimes we learned more in those things. So that's why I love when the group comes in, that I can have people back into the office that we can share this, right? So one of the things I said to the group, Dan was there and Ted was there, is I want to challenge some of the old group to the new group. Who would be up for that? That's it, just a couple of hands? Come on, guys. Inga, what's the matter with you?
Just throw me somewhere.
What?
Just throw me somewhere.
No, guys. Listen, we're all a family, but you know what? I said this new group is young and hungry, right? So Ladan is in the older group, Ted is in the older group. So the difference is, I said I'm going to go with the newer group, but I'm going to give them my support, right? So I would like to do more sales than the veterans. The new group against the veteran group. And I'm going to be on your side, right? So, you know, who can hit the most doors? Who can do the most open houses? Who can do the most sales? You know, there's a number of different things I can measure it on. Who's done the most attendance in training? So it's not just about having a sale. I might make a list of 10 or 15 things and put it out there. Who's up? Who's up?
Yeah.
Right? Right? Guys, it's a fun competition. And, you know, because they were away so long, you guys are starting to grow together, right? So that's what's important, is to grow together, because then you can pump up each other, you cheer each other up, right? I still want to put you in groups, but still a few more people are coming on. And then there's Alexander that was here yesterday. He's here with us now today. He wasn't in the first group. So there's a few more. When I get all that, I'll probably make it in groups of 7, and then you cheer on, whatever, right? Oh, Tracy wasn't here today. Was she here last week?
We're supposed to have an accountability group.
We are we're gonna work on that, because I'm just waiting for a few more people to come, and then I'm gonna set it up, right? We will definitely have them. So, the great thing is you're here today. Those are missing an opportunity. They'll get to do a recording after. So let's go out, do a quick video. So what I'll do is for the IMS, because that was that training